you have a problem. Design a cam where the follower has to rise by 10 mm and second follower should rise by 20 mm after 180-degree rotation. So this is the problem which is given to us. So we need to solve this particular problem. So to do that, first I will go for the fusion, and first I will go for scale. First I will go for offset plane. Select this plane and offset it by 80 mm. Now, since he has not given any dimensions, so we have to assume some dimensions for designing this. I will just go for a sketch, click on the offsetted plane, and now you create a rectangle here of any size. And I will go for dimension, select this dimension and make this dimension as 50, and then enter. Then take from here to this center, you take this as 25. Then from here to here, you take this as 60. And then from here, you take it as 180. So this is the frame what we are constructing. Go to finish sketch, click on 3D, go to extrude, select this distance as -20. Because the direction is in this direction, I want it in the opposite direction. And you click on new body and say OK. Then I want to mirror this to that side. I will go for create and go to mirror, select this body or feature, and then go to mirror plane, select on this and say OK. Now once you do that, now we have the other plane. Now I want to have the horizontal plane or horizontal structure. I will go to sketch, click on this and go to rectangle, select this rectangle, go to rectangle, 2-point rectangle, select this and create this now. And go to dimension between this line and take the dimension as 20 and enter. And go to finish sketch and go to extrude, select this and select this to the object on this side. So go to distance to object on this side. And since I want to join, you just go to join and say OK. So this is the frame structure what I want in the beginning. Now I will go for bodies. Whatever it has been created, it will be created here. You just right click on bodies and go to create component from bodies. And so that body will be removed and it has been transferred into a component. So this is the first component which we are creating. So this is actually the frame where the cam will going to be mounted. So camshaft will going to be mounted. Now I will go for a sketch. So I'll go for a sketch, click on this particular sketch. Now I want to create a circle of diameter. Go to a circle, go to a diameter, take this distance as 20. And then these two are constrained with vertical distance, yes. Then I go to dimension, select this dimension with reference to this and give the distance as 80. And then go to finish sketch, click on 3D and go to extrude, select this. And now the distance is through all and go to flip and say cut and say OK. Now we have created this particular sketch. Then I need to create the cam shaft first. Now to do that, I will go for a sketch, click on this sketch on this profile. And now I'll go for project, select this and create this and say OK. And go to circle, draw a circle of diameter 30 wherever you want, and then go to constraint, go to concentric, select on this concentric to this circle, and then go to finish sketch and go to 3 dimension and go to extrude, select this and as well as this, and again you just rotate. This has to be extruded till to this object. So go to distance to object, select on this side. And since I want to create it as a new component, I will go for new, click on new component and say OK. Now you can see the component 2 has been created. Now again we go back to this. And now I want to take this shaft extra. That is, I need to create that. I will just go for component 1, I will just disable this, and then I will go for a sketch, click on this particular sketch, and now I will go for this component, and then again enable this and go to project, select this line or circle and say OK. Now I will disable this, and now go to finish sketch and go to extrude, select this and give the distance as 50. Since I want to join to this, you say join and say OK. Now once you do that, now I want to mirror the same thing on the other side. Again, I will enable this, go to create, go to mirror, then go to feature, select this feature, okay, and then mirror plane on this plane, and it will be mirrored to this particular other side of the half, and say click on OK. Now we have the entire camshaft. On this camshaft, we will going to provide the cam. So to do that, I will go for offset plane, select on this plane and give the distance as 20 mm. And then say OK. According to the problem, what he says is the first follower has got a rise of 10 mm. So that I need to create this. Now I will go for a sketch, click on this particular sketch. Now here, the basic dimension of the shaft will going to remain the same. I will go to a project, select this and say OK. Now we will go for a circle and go to construction circle and draw a circle of diameter 100. This is the base circle, okay, and then go to constraint, then go to concentric, select this with reference to this, okay. Once you do that, now we will go for a line, select this center point and draw a vertical line. Once you do that, I will disable this component 1, and now I will go for trim, select this and trim this portion. Now you go for create, go to circular pattern, select this and then select the center point as this, okay, and go give the distance as 12 and say OK. Now we have all the points now. So we have divided this into 12 equal points. Now what I want to divide this same here. I will go for a line. First we are going to construct a line of 10 mm. Go to dimension, select this and give the dimension as 10. Then I will go for line, select this line and draw one horizontal line, and I will divide this into, I want to make a convenient distances. I will take 120, that is for every 30 degree we are going to have 10 mm. I will go for to give the dimension as 120. Okay, this is the scale what I am considering. So for 10 mm lift, you will have 180 degree for 10 mm lift. So I will go for line. So this is 360 degree. So I will construct one more line here, and then I will going to construct one more line here. Okay. Then I will go for equal constraints. Select this smaller one. I want this line to be equal to this. So you select this as the first one and this as the second one. Okay. Go to constraint, select equals, select this line with reference to this. Now these two lines will become equal. Again, I want this line to be equal to this. So again, go to constraint, say equal, select this line with reference to this. So we have two equal lines. And here, so the entire distance is 360 degree, but I want for 180 degree. Again, dimension between this line and this line, give the dimension as 60. So for 180 degree, there is a lift of 10 mm in the follower, and again it comes back. Since the motion is simple harmonic, so we will assume the motion is simple harmonic. So to do that, I will go for a line. You select this and draw this horizontal line. Now again, I will go for create, go to pattern, rectangular pattern, select this line and give the distance quantity as 6, and since it is spacing, and give the distance as 10 mm, and your design then you make this quantity as 1 for the second case and say OK. So once you do that, now we will have this other one. From here also, you are going to have 60, that is 180 degree to 360. So to do that, again, I will go for create, go to rectangular pattern, select this line and give the distance quantity as 6 and give the distance as 10. Okay. And then the spacing is 10 mm. So then 1 and say OK. So that means for every this is for 180 degree. I'm dividing this for every section. You're going to have 30 degree. So now I want to divide this also into 6 equal number of segments. I will go for create, go to circle, select this midpoint, take the endpoint of this. Now I want to trim this. I want to go for this pattern. Go to circular pattern now. Select, go to create, go to circular pattern, select this line and say the center point. You click on the center point, take the center point of this line, and since it is partial, give the angle as 180 and make it 7. So that means I want to divide this into 6 segments. Here also I have divided this into 6 segments and say I will say OK. Now I will go for trim, select this and I will trim this extra portion now. Okay. Now we have the things here done. Now I want to I want to join these things now. So how to do that? I will go for pan. Okay. Now, since you have a lot of constraints here and also the dimensions, I will disable the constraints and dimensions. So that will be disabled. Then I will just go for a line. Go for a line. Select this endpoint. Okay. And draw perpendicular to this line. Okay. This is the first case. Similarly, I want to go for a line, select this endpoint, draw perpendicular to this. Similarly, go for a line, select this endpoint, draw perpendicular to this. Sorry. Go to line, select this endpoint, draw perpendicular to this line. Okay. Similarly, go for a line, select this endpoint, draw perpendicular to this. Similarly, go for a line, select this endpoint and draw perpendicular to this now. Once you do that, now I want to draw a curve. Go to fits spline and remove construction and I want to draw actual line now. You just take endpoint. Similarly, you come down to the intersection of this to intersection of this to intersection. Okay. Take this intersection and take this intersection to this endpoint. Similarly, on the other side, you take endpoint of this to endpoint of this. Again, you take endpoint of this to endpoint of this. Again, you come back to this and take endpoint to this endpoint. Then press enter key. Once you do that, now we have the entire profile been drawn. Now I will go for the removing of all this. I will go for a trim, select this line and trim this portion, this and this, and go to select this line and delete it, select this, and now you delete this. Similarly, you go to trim, select this line and you remove it. Now once you do that, now I want to transfer all these distances onto this now. So to do that, so first, this is the simple harmonic motion. So whatever we want to do, we want to take it from this. I need to transfer this distance on this particular line. So I need to extend that line now. How to extend that? One way is offsetting the circle and then do it. But the other way is I will go for a line. I will draw some arbitrary line. So I will go for a line, click on the construction and draw a line now. Now I will go for constraint. So go to collinear, select between these two now. Once you do that, so both are collinear. Now I will go for dimension, select this line and click. Now you have one option is called measure. This length should have the measure of this line. Select this, click on this. So it gives the dimension. You just press enter key. So now whatever the length is there, that length will come on this side now. You can see here that length is here. Okay. Similarly, you do for all other things. Again, you go for a line, select this line and draw one inclined line. Go to constraint, go to collinear, select this line with reference to this line. Go to dimension, select this line and take this as measure, and this line should measure with reference to this and give enter. So here I will go for dimension, select this. Okay, I will just go to select and I will delete this. I will redo it again. I will go for a line, select this and draw one inclined line. Go to constraint, go to collinear, select between these two. Go to dimension, select this, take this as the measured value and come down to this and click on this side and give the dimension enter. So now that dimension has been ensured. You can check that. Go to dimension, select this, you will get 2.5 here. Okay. The next thing is I want this vertical line, horizontal line. I will go for a line, select this horizontal line of any length. Go to dimension, select between these two, go to measure. And now you come down to fit and you come down to this line. So this will have 5 mm, enter. Now we have this. Again, you go to line, select this line and draw one vertical, horizontal, any inclined line and go to constraint. So go to collinear between these two. Then go to dimension, select this. Go to dimension, select this line. Go to dimension, go to measure. Okay. Go to fit, come down to this, select on this dimension, give 7.5, enter. So we have this dimension. Similarly, I will go for a line, select this line, go to constraint, collinear, select this line with reference to this, go to line, select this endpoint and draw inclined line, go to constraint, collinear, select this with reference to this and go to dimension and go to measure and come down to fit and you click on this line. Okay, enter it. Now I want 10 mm in this case. I will go for line. The rise is 10 mm. You just go to dimension, click on this and give the lift as 10 mm. So this is the maximum point wherein you will be able to get this point what I have considered this dimension. Okay, 10 mm lift. Once you do that, now we want to have the same thing in the reverse order. I will go for a line, select this line and I will draw some inclined line. Go to constraint, go to collinear, select between this and this. Now you go for equal constraint. Select this length equal to this. Then again go for a line, select this line and draw this inclined line. Go to constraint, collinear between these two. Now we go for constraint, go to equal, select this line with reference to this. Then again you go for a horizontal line here. Okay. Now you again constraint, go to equal, select this line with reference to this line. Similarly, again you go for a line, select this line and draw this inclined line. Go to constraint, collinear between this and this. Go to constraint, collinear between this line and this. Now you go for constraint, go to equal, select this line. The length of this line should be equal to this. So that is the reason why first I am considering this and to this line. Okay. Again, similarly, I will go for a line, select this and I will draw some inclined line. Go to constraint, go to collinear, select this line with reference to this. Again, you go for constraint, take equal, select this line with reference to this line. Now we have all the lines we have been fixed now. I will go for a fit. Now I will go for fit spline, remove construction, take endpoint to this endpoint, to this endpoint, to this endpoint. So select all these points now. Okay. Once you do that, now we have the entire profile has been completed and go to finish sketch. Once you do that, now we have the line. So now I will enable this component and now I will go for extrude, select this face and give the distance as 20 mm on this case. And now I want to make it as a new component. No, it is on the same. I will go for join. So I'll go for join and say OK now. So this component has been created now. So this is the cam profile what I have constructed for the first one. Similarly, I want to construct for the second one. So to do that, I will just take the rotation of this and similarly I'll go for offset plane, select this plane and give the distance as 20 mm and say OK. Now I'll go to 3 dimension. Again, I will go for a sketch. Similarly, repeat the same procedure for this case also, but it is for a lift of 20 mm. So I will go for a project. Okay, click on this and say OK. Now I will go for a circle, select this construction circle and take the diameter as 100. Okay, now I'll go for constraint, select concentric between this line with reference to this. Now once you have this, now I will go for remove the component 1, that is I have disabled this. I'll go for a line, select this endpoint and draw a vertical line and go for a trim, select this and trim this and go to constraint, circular pattern, select this and give the center point of this as this point and give the distance, the number of components as 12 and say OK now. So once you do that, now we will create the dimensions, the simple harmonics displacement diagram. So to do that, again, I will go for a line, select this point, like whatever we did for the previous value. The same thing I need to do here also. I'll go for dimension, select this and give the lift as 20 mm. Okay. Now I will go for line, select this and draw this line. Okay. Now we'll go for dimension, select this and give the distance as 120. Okay. Now I want to go for sketch, remove dimensions and also constraints. Then I will go for line, select this line and draw one vertical line. Similarly, I will consider any arbitrary point and then draw one more vertical line and go to constraint, say equal. The length of line should be equal to this. So you click on this and this line. Similarly, I will go for equal, select this line with reference to this line. So we have go to dimension between these two. This dimension will become 60. Okay. So we have all these lines we have been already considered. So the distance between these two is 60. Okay. Now we will go for line, select this point and draw one more line here. Now I will go for create, go to rectangular pattern, select this line and give the distance as 6 and give this distance as -10 and then give this distance as 1 and say OK. I have divided this into 6 equal numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Similarly, I go for create, go to rectangular pattern, select this and give the number of quantities as 6. Again, I want to give this distance between the spacing as -10 and take this quantity as 1 on the other side, what we are talking about. So, and I will say 1. Similarly, I will go for a circle, select this midpoint and draw a circle here. So I need to divide this circle into 6 equal number of segments. I will go for create, go to circular pattern, select this and go to select the center point as this and give partial and take the angle as 180 degrees and give the number of components as 7 and say OK. So one should do that. Now you go for a trim, select this and trim all these things. Okay, on this side. Now, the next thing is I need to project these points. I will go for fit. Okay, now I will consider these distances. I will go for line, select this endpoint, draw perpendicular to this line. Okay, similarly, I want to go for a line, select this endpoint and draw perpendicular to this. Similarly, I will go for line, select this endpoint, draw perpendicular to this. Of course, it may be midpoint in this case. I'll go for line, select this endpoint, draw perpendicular to this. Similarly, I'll go for a line, select this endpoint, draw perpendicular to this. So one should do that. Now we will go for creating the all other things now. Again, I will go for fit spline, take remove the construction, take endpoint to this intersection. Similarly to this intersection, to this midpoint, to this intersection, to this intersection, to this endpoint, to this endpoint, to this endpoint, to this endpoint, to this, okay, to this endpoint, to this endpoint, then to take this endpoint and say enter. So one should do that. So now we have the entire profile has been constructed. Now I will go for a trim, select this line, remove this, this, and this, and similarly here also you remove this portion. Okay. Now I will go for select and I will delete these lines. It's not required. No, as previous case, the same thing I need to do it here also. So how to do that? Now I will go for line. I will construct go to line, select this construction line, take endpoint and then go to constraint collinear, this line with reference to this, and I will go for dimension, select this line, go to measure. So you come down to this point and measure this length. Okay, measure this length and say enter. One should do that. So we have the measure of that. Correct. Go to dimension. The dimension of this is 1.34. Correct. Similarly, I will go for a line, select this endpoint, then go to constraint, go to collinear between this line and this, go to dimension, go to measure. Now you go to fit, measure this line now and say enter. We have the second one. Go to line, select this line and draw one more horizontal line. go to dimension. So you click on measure, select this line now. Okay, which is 10 mm. Similarly, I'll go for line, select this line and draw this inclined line. Go to constraint, collinear between this line and this line. So again, you go to dimension, then go to measure. Okay, select this line now. Okay, 15, enter. Now again, you go for line, select this line, go to constraint, collinear between this line and this line. Go to dimension. Okay, go to constraint, go to collinear between this line and this, go to dimension. Similarly, go to measure and you come down to this, measure this line and say enter. Now I want 20 mm lift. I will go for line. So select this and draw this line and go to dimension, make this dimension as 20. Now, similarly, I want this line to be equal to this. So I will go for line, select this inclined line, go to constraint, go to collinear between this line and this, go to constraint, make equal this line with reference to this. Similarly, I will go for line, select this line, go to constraint, collinear between this line with reference to this, and go to constraint, go to equal, select this line with reference to this, and now I'll go for line, select this line and go to constraint, equal, select this line, constraint, select equals, constraint, equal, not selecting, but equal to this line. Go to constraint, equal, or you go to dimension, go to measure. Okay, measure this line with reference to this line. Okay, which is 10 mm. That is okay now. Similarly, I will go for line, select this line, go to constraint, go to collinear between this line and this, and now I want to make it equal. So go to constraint, select equal, this line with reference to this. Similarly, I will go for line, select this line, and then you go to constraint, collinear, this line with reference to this. Then go to constraint, go to equal. Now you select this line with reference to this line. Now we have all the lines have been measured and transferred from this displacement diagram onto this. So it is just a follower, roller follower. Now, once you do that, now I'll go for fit spline. So remove the constraint. That is construction. Take endpoint of this to 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 endpoint. Now, what he says is when the cam profile is from 0 to 180 degree, there is a lift of 10 mm in the original follower. When the follower in the second cam profile, when it is from 0 to 180, there is a lift of follower is 20 mm. That is from distance from this point to this point is 20. But actually what he says, and when it is at, so this cam profile will be in a raise, it will start raising after 180. So that means this profile should not be at this particular point. when the profile is starts, so this profile has to be at this particular point. So when this is at 180 and this profile should be 0. So that is the meaning of that. So when this becomes 0 at that point, this profile will be at 20 mm. So that is what we need. So that means I need to rotate this entire cam profile of the second one by a rotation angle of 180 degree. So now for the time being, so what I will do, I will first create this. I will go for a finish sketch and go to 3 dimension and I will enable this. Now I will go for extrude, select this profile, okay, and I will give the distance as 20 mm and I will go for a new body, okay. New body I will going to construct, I will create, I will not create as a new component, instead I will take it as a new body and I will say okay. Once you do that, so this will be a separate one and this will be separate one. So now I need to rotate this by 180 degree. So that is the reason why I told that when this is at 0, this will be not at 0, it will be at 180. So when this becomes at 180, then this will become 0. So now I need to rotate that. So I'll go for modify, click on move, select this profile. Okay. Once you do that, go to pivot, select this take pointer, take this center point, and so when this is at so I need to rotate. So basically now this is at 0. So I will rotate this by 180 degree. Sorry. So I'll go for modify, go to move, select this, okay. Then go to pivot, select this reference, okay. Then remove this. Now you give rotation angle. Okay. Now I will give the rotation angle as 180 degree. So when you rotate this, you can see there is a lift here. So when this is at 0, this will be at 180. So that means it is at 20 mm. So you can see that from here also. When this is at 0, there is a lift of 120. When this is at 120, this is at 10 mm lift. So this will be at 0. So that is the meaning of this. So I will just go to this and I will say OK. Now we have these two components. Now what I need to do is I need to, so this is the body. This is separate body and this is one more body. I want to combine these two now. I will go for modify. I will go for combine, select this and with reference to this and I will say join operation. So that body has been joined to this component 2. Okay. Now previously that body was here, that has been removed here. So now if I select this and if I try to move, so the entire thing it will go to move. See, this is the one. So this is the cam which is loaded on the shaft. So I'll go revert back to this original position now. So once you do that, after that, what I need to do is I need to create the base. So to do that, I will just rotate this. I will go for a sketch, click on this profile. Okay. And now by using the rectangle, I will create one rectangle of any length. Okay. Okay. Now I'll go for dimension between these two. This dimension is 110. Okay. And this dimension is 220. I will make it equal. Similarly, I want this dimension to be 70. And then from here, I will make it 140. Okay. Once you do that, now I'll go for finish sketch. So this is the base. I will go for extrude, select this, and I will select these two. And I will take the distance as 20 mm. Create this as a join. Okay. I will say okay. Now we have the entire thing. And I want to see this component is the separate and this component is separate. Oh, sorry. I'll go for edit feature. And now I want to, instead of going that, I will go to create it as a new body and say, okay. Now I will go for bodies. Where is that body here? Sorry. I will do one thing. I will just delete this. Okay. Now I will go for sketch, enable the sketch. Okay. Now I'll go for extrude, go to rotate, okay, click on this and you select this also and give the distance as 20, create as a new body or new component. You can take it as new component and say okay. So we have the one more component. Once you do that, so now we have component number 3 now. So once you do this, okay, so we have the component 3. Now these two components should be rigid now. So if you select this, so this portion is grounded. So you can see this portion will be removed. So you just come down to this. So you just you have the component 3. I want to make a component between these two should be rigid now. So to do that, I will go for assembly, go to rigid group, select this one and you select this one and say okay. So these two components becomes rigid now. Now, the next part is I want to create the hole here. So to create a hole, because I need to have a follower there at this particular 2 points, I will go for a sketch, click on this particular sketch, and I will go for a circle and take some dimension here. And I will go for dimension, select this, give the dimension as 10. Okay, take this dimension between these two. You take this dimension as 50. Yes. Similarly, create one more circle of the same dimension. Go to constraint, take equal between this and go to dimension between this one and this time. This dimension is also 50 and go to finish sketch, go to 3D and go to extrude, select this and you select this and take the distance now. And I go to front. So here you will take this out. Okay. Take this bit inside, okay, and say cut and say okay now. So now we have this profile. Once you do that, now I want to write the follower now. So to do that, so here I will go for sketch, click on this particular sketch, okay. Now I will go for project, select on this, select on this and say okay. Now I will go for finish sketch, go to extrude, select this and go to two sides. One side you give the distance as 10 and the other side you give the distance as 49.9. Okay. And see that that is almost touching this. Okay. So this is how you will be able to get this. I will go for a new component. It is not the same component. It is a new component because that is the follower what we are considering. So I'll just go for a follower and then click on OK. Now we will go for 3-dimension. Now we have created this. Again, I will go for sketch, select this sketch and go to circle, select this, go to diameter, give this distance as 20. And now you go for constraint, go to concentric, select this line, this circle and with reference to this circle, finish sketch and go to extrude, select this and as well as this and give the distance as 10 mm. Okay. And you join to this. Once you do that, now I want to give the radius. Go to fillet, select this portion and give the radius as 5. Okay, round. Click on OK. Now you go to front. Okay, almost static touching. Okay, now you just go to this. So we have this profile now. Now once you do this, now I want to have the pattern. I will go for create, go to pattern, click on go to create, go to pattern, take rectangular pattern, select components. You just select this particular component and then select this axis as this line. Okay. And give the distance now. You take this distance as 2 and give minus 60. Okay. Once you give minus 60, and now you give this distance as 1. Okay. And say, click on OK now. So these two are the different components now. Suppose if I say, if I move this, so these two will going to move it in different positions. So these two are different now. I'll just go to revert back to the position. So now we have changed all these things. Now we need to apply the constraints now. So here, see, basically the one what we have in the beginning is the component 1. This is the frame which will be rigid. So we have a group of base here. So what I can do is you just still, now we have the relationship have we obtained, only one relationship we have obtained, that is the rigid group. Now I want to draw this. I need to select this and I want this dimension to be done. So that means I want to establish a relationship between this camshaft and this now. So to do that, I will go for assemble, go to joint, select on this joint with reference to this. Go to this, sorry, edit. So here we have the relationship. We have, okay, rigid group. So we don't have any other relationship other than this. Okay. Now I go to assemble, go to joint. So select this joint with reference to this joint. The following assembly relationship already exists between the selected rigid components, rigid group. Okay. Okay. I'll go for edit. Okay. So I will just go to this rigid group. Okay, okay. I will just delete this rigid group now. Okay. Now I will go for